Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. Why is this not working? Hold on. What the heck? Oh, that's why, because I have it on push to talk. Okay. I'll fix that in a minute here. Anyway, I'm Alexander, you. We will be joined by the Golden Loon here shortly. Today is, Wednesday? Yes, aka Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. This show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. We have a 35-page document to go through today. So let's start us off here really quick. Just double checking to make sure. Yep. Before we do that, I'm just going to edit my settings. Just give me one moment. I apologize. I just got to make sure that this thing, there we go. Now it's lighting up. Just in case, the mic isn't working or whatever, that's my indicator. Anyway, 484 BC, we have dedication of the Temple of Castor and Pollux in ancient Rome. And I do actually, right out of the bat, have an image for this. And I'm going to image search this. That's what an artist's rendition of what they believed it looked like. We'll get to that in a minute. But then, we still have some columns are still, standing to this day. So it's pretty cool right there. I see the loon is coming in to join us.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Did I miss much?
No, I just started here in, 484 BC. We're talking about the dedication of this temple right here.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, moving on up to the year 70. Before we do, I just want to show the loon, which this is another reason why I'm trying to get you on a Discord, because I post this on Discord. So that way you can see this, and I won't have to deviate from the show to show you every day, But there's the thumbnail. Title is Rosetta Stone, Margerine, Golgi Apparatus, and more. So, yeah. Anyway, the year 70, First Jewish-Roman War. Titus and his armies breached the walls of Jerusalem. 17th of Tammuz in the Hebrew calendar. So if you follow that calendar, that's the date here. 1756, An Lushan Rebellion. Emperor Xuezong of Tang was ordered by his imperial guards to execute Chancellor Yang Guozong by forcing him to commit self-deletion or face a mutiny. General An Lushan had other members of the emperor's family killed.
Great.
Wow. It's 971, according to legend, English Saint Swithin was reburied inside Winchester Cathedral against his wishes, and a terrible storm proceeded to rain for 40 days and 40 nights. That kind of reminds me of something.
Yeah, does it?
Yeah. A little story about some guy named Noah.
Yeah.
Not talking about Noah and the whale, so... 1099, the city of Jerusalem was captured and plundered by Christian forces during the First Crusade. So it says here, other source, Christian soldiers took the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem after the final assault of a difficult siege.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, they built a building around the building. That's apparently the Holy Sepulchre or something. I'm not sure. So I'm going to image search this really quick just to show, because they have exterior and interior. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one here. Hold on a second. I guess... I don't know where I got the Holy Sepulchre. Oh, here we go. This is probably where I got it. 1149. The reconstructed Church of the Holy Sepulchre was consecrated in Jerusalem. So, yeah, this is where I got that image. So there it is. So this shows, what it looks like on the outside.
Okay.
And, other angles. It looks like a cool building,
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have known that there's, see, look, it's a building in a building.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What else we got here? 1205, Pope Innocent III stated Jews are doomed to perpetual servitude and subjugation due to crucifixion of Jesus. Which brings up another point, if Jews as a community as a whole at least acknowledge Jesus as a human, not necessarily, of course they won't view him as a savior because they're, that'd make them Christians, but whatever. But if they do acknowledge that he lived, then why haven't they apologized for killing him? In the very least,
Yeah, but you can't take it out of context.
It's not out of context.
Yeah, I know.
They acknowledge he existed as a human being in the very least, and they acknowledge that they killed him. Why can't
Pontius Pilate is the one that actually killed him.
What?
Pontius Pilate is the Roman, the guy running the place.
Yeah,
he's a Roman.
And Rome was Jewish.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Jesus was a Jew.
Yeah, I know that.
All that area was Jews.
Yeah.
Roman was Jewish. and the Jews killed him because he wasn't one of them.
He came from Rome, and he was the ruler of that area of Jerusalem.
Yeah, Rome was Jewish. The Jews killed Jesus. Whether or not whatever you believe about him, in the very least, he's acknowledged to have existed as a human being, and he was murdered.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah,
Rome
was Jewish.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, the emperor at the time, I forgot his name, but he converted to Judaism. Like, the Jews were running things at the time in Rome. They were the big boys. So, anyway, 1207, King John of England expelled Canterbury monks for supporting Archbishop of Canterbury Stephen Langton. Moving on up to 1381, John Ball, a leader in the Peasants' Revolt, was hung, drawn, and quartered in the presence of Richard II of England. That's a brutal form of execution, but, I think we should bring it back.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, I mean, that'll nobody wants that to happen to them, right? Well, then that'll be incentive for them not to fucking stupid, if you don't want to find out, don't fuck around, And then, how do you expect to keep, humans, which are just a bunch of animals, in line without threat? They need to have some kind of something. 1381, John Ball, a leader in the Peasants' Revolt. We got that one. 1410, Battle of Grunwald, the first Battle of Tannenberg, Battle of Zalgiris, one of medieval Europe's largest battles during Poland-Lithuania-Teutonic War. Polish King Władysław Jagiello and Lithuanian Grand Duke Vychislas defeated Teutonic Ulrich von Jongingen. So, yeah, it says, other source, the allied forces of the Kingdom of Poland and the Grand Duchy of Lithuania defeated the army of the Teutonic Order. That's no small feat. The Teutonic Knights, they were crusaders, dude. Like, that was like the special forces in those days. 1482, Muhammad XI was crowned the 22nd and last Nasrid king of Granada. 1500, Bologna family massacred at the blood wedding of Astor Bologna and Lavinia Colonna in Perugia. I'm going to do a surface level scratch of this article. Red Wedding. Oh, the Red Wedding. I've heard about the Red Wedding. Okay. So this is what inspired that one Game of Thrones episode. And, whoops, what was that? I'll get to that in a minute. I was just wondering why the music was so loud. Where was I?
Did you tone it down a bit?
What?
Did you tone it down, the music?
Yeah, it was already very low. It was just, during a crescendo period. So anyway, Red Wedding. Let's see here. So put that link there. This link that we collected and all links that we gather throughout the show will appear in the Underbrother description below. After the live stream, we already have a lot of cool things down there, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition, the music in the background that we were just talking about, our sources, and a few other cool things. But anyway, this Red Wedding, Italian Nozze Rossi, was a massacre in Perugia in the night of 14th to 15th of July, 1500, in which members of the Baglioni family killed their own relatives during wedding celebrations in Piazza Maggiore, sparking a brief coup. Wow. That's your own family, dude. 1501, Portuguese explorer Pedro Cabral arrived back in Lisbon after successfully discovering Brazil and returning from India. It says here, other source, what it used to say, it says Portuguese explorer Pedro Cabral arrived back in Lisbon from his voyage to India, having lost 6 ships during which he accidentally discovered Brazil. They used to say a lot more. Why did they... Oh, well...
Trimmed it down? They
changed it again. That's interesting. But they're removing... It seemed like they removed...
portions of it.
Yeah. Well, it says here, it used to say accidentally discovered Brazil. Then it said successfully discovered Brazil. Here, let me show you from, right here. And then now it says having lost 6 ships during which he accidentally discovered Brazil.
Accidentally.
So they're saying it again.
Yeah. Back at it.
Yeah. So they edited it at some point. 1524, Emperor Charles I banned German National Synod. What is that? National Synod? What's a synod? What is this? Okay. As part of his dispute with French King Francis I and to maintain control over religious and political matters in the Holy Roman Empire. There we go. Thank you. I don't want AI anymore. Okay, so now if anybody wants to actually look that up, because AI, take that with a grain of salt. If anyone wants to actually look this up, what this this National Synod is. Tell us in the comment section. That'd be great. Moving on to 1640, the first University of Finland, the Royal Academy of Turku, was inaugurated in Turku, of course. And I do have an image of that. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Rather plain-looking building, but 1640.
Wow.
It's a university and everything. And
yeah.
Now, I don't think that's still the original building. I'm not sure. Well, it says Old Academy Building in Turku. But how old? From 1640 or from 1740, 1840, 1940?
Well, maybe refurbished.
Yeah. Or they could have completely torn it down and rebuilt it because of code. It could be completely riddled with asbestos. Who knows? So that's
They didn't have asbestos back in the 1640s.
I don't know. But this was an observatory for the Royal Academy or something. So that's pretty cool.
I like that.
Yeah, the little rotunda. So what else we got here? 1662. This is no longer in either source. King Charles II chartered Royal Society in London. And I would look that up, but it might be erroneous, so I'm going to keep on going here. 1738, Barak Leibov and Alexander von Zizin were burned alive in St. Petersburg, Russia. Von Zizin had converted to Judaism with Leibov's help, with the consent of Empress Anna Iovana. So it sounds like they got burnt alive for converting to Judaism. It's terrible.
Yep.
1741, Alexei Cherkanov sighted land in southeast Alaska. He sent men ashore in a longboat, making them the first Europeans to visit Alaska.
Wow.
Pretty cool. Yeah, 1738. Or 1741, sorry. 1783, world's first steamboat, the Pyroscophe, built by Claude Francois de Rosetta, Marquis de Geoffroy d'Abans, made its first voyage on the River Saône in France. All right, I do have an image of this. It's actually a model of the ship.
Oh, look at that.
But yeah, it's an open top. There's the engine. There's a paddle and everything. I hear.
Do they have it open to
for ventilation?
So you can see, or is it?
No, well, no,
it's designed open.
We'll probably just see, because now it's seeing this. But they have a steam thing.
Yeah.
Would you mind closing that window? I can hear the leaf blowers. Thank you. Yep. But we have a few artist renditions of this ship. It looks so small, but it's the first one. And here's an actual blueprint. Look at that thing. It doesn't show the full ship. It doesn't just end right here, but it just shows the steam engine and all that stuff, the important bits. Moving on up to, actually there's this image. I just wanted to see this really. Look at that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
1783.
Could you imagine out in a rowboat like that and seeing that thing chugging along and, You'd just be dumbfounded going, what is that?
Oh, absolutely. Well, remember we covered that one article about the British ship, that was chasing the U.S. one, that, before they realized, before they even knew about the technology, of steam power and all that stuff, or at least put it to a ship. Remember they fired a cannon at them as a warning to try to get them to slow down or something because they thought they were on fire.
Yeah.
And then when they got there, they were just dumbfounded. Like, what is this? What do you mean you weren't on fire? Oh, well, that's because they couldn't catch up. That's why they had fired the cannon. They couldn't catch up to them. Because they were trying to rely on wind power while we had this machine just going,
Yeah.
So, what else we got here? 1787, Parliament of Paris banished to Troyes. Why? That's kind of weird. Look that up here really quick. Well, Revolt of Parliaments, I'm not sure if that's going to tell me anything about that. 1789, Gilbert de Montier, Marquis de Lafayette, was named by acclamation Colonel General of the new National Guard in Paris. Cool. 1799, the Rosetta Stone was found in the Egyptian village of Rosetta by French Captain Pierre-Francois Bouchard during Napoleon's Egyptian campaign. So say what you want, about Napoleon, whether, he should have stayed out of Egypt and all that stuff, whether he was being too conquesty, but if it wasn't for him, if we ever did find it, it would have been much later finding the Rosetta Stone. And this is one of the greatest discoveries in all of human history, because this unlocked our ability to even read ancient Egyptian, because it said the same thing in 4 different languages, and we had already translated one of the languages, so we used that to be able to translate hieroglyphics.
Okay.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
So.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, the Rosetta Stone is one of the greatest discoveries of all time. 1806, Zebulon Khan Pike began his journey to explore the American Southwest. So the Pike Expedition, United States Army Lieutenant General Zebulon Pike began an expedition from Fort Bellefontaine near St. Louis, Missouri, to explore the West. I've heard the word Bellefontaine before.
Well, there's a singer, Belafonte.
Ah.
But that was in the 50s and 60s.
Isn't there an Arthur Belafonte or something?
Oh.
Oh.
But I have heard of the Pike expedition.
Yeah. Well, I wonder. Well, this is talking
I
about
don't know anything about it. I just know the name.
Yeah. Well, I wonder. This is the.
Harry Belafonte was the singer.
Oh, okay. Well, this is
Day-o, day-o.
Oh, he did the Banana Boat.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, it says the American Southwest, so that wouldn't be Pike's Place. Up in Washington.
No.
Or Pike's Peak or anything like that.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Anyway, 1815, a first flat horse race held at English racetrack at Cheltenham on Nottingham Hill. 1815 as well, during the Napoleonic Wars, Napoleon Bonaparte surrendered to Captain Frederick Maitland on HMS Bellerophon at Rochefort after his earlier defeat at the Battle of Waterloo, and I believe that was at the hands of Wellington. 1823, a fire destroyed the ancient Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls of Rome, Italy. I do have an image for that. You can tell the roof is gutted.
Ooh, yeah.
See that? That's an artist rendition, obviously.
Yeah.
If we go and image search this, it shows here like another artist. You can see there's that thing, how all the debris on the floor of all the burned roof, ceiling, and all that stuff. Here's another one with a pile of debris. That's a tragedy there. 1830, Indian tribes Sioux, Sauk, and Fox signed the Fourth Treaty of Prairie du Chien, giving the U.S. most of Minnesota, Iowa, and Missouri. 1834, the Spanish Inquisition was officially disbanded after nearly 356 years. 1838, Ralph Waldo Emerson delivered the Divinity School address at Harvard Divinity School, discounting Bible miracles and declaring Jesus a great man, but not God. The Protestant community reacted with outrage, as they should. In 1840, Great Britain, Russia, Austria, and Prussia signed the Quadruple Alliance, and I wonder if this is connected, because this is from the other source. The great powers of Europe concluded the Convention of London in order to stabilize the Near East. That very much sounds connected. That happened both on the same date. It's 1840.
Same year, too.
Same year, yeah. So it sounds connected. I mean, Great Britain, Russia, Austria, and Prussia, those sound like great powers of Europe.
Yeah.
So... And this is when they signed that Quadruple Alliance. That sounds like concluding a convention.
Yeah. It does sound like the same.
1849, the first air raid in history occurred. Austria launched pilotless balloons against the city of Venice. I wonder how that works. But they're artist rendition. Like, look at that. Like,
they're not going to float over. But
the balloons are exploding in the air. I don't know if that's supposed to be intimidating or something. If it's just exploding in the air, or if they're supposed to drop and explode on the ground. But
it doesn't make sense to explode in the air, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I guess maybe it causes distraction, and then your forces can kill the enemy forces while they're looking up, wondering why the air above the city is blowing up. I don't know. 1850, John Wisden bowled out all 10 South batsmen in the North versus South match at Lord's.
Obviously, we were going with bowling at first.
Yeah, well, no, it's cricket.
Yeah, it's cricket.
1856, Natal formed as British colony separate from Cape Colony. 1862, CSS Arkansas versus USS Cara de Lot and Queen of the West engaged at the Yazoo River. So during the U.S. Civil War, the CSS Arkansas, the most effective ironclad on the Mississippi River, battled with Union Navy ships commanded by Admiral David Farragut, severely damaging 3 ships and sustaining heavy damage herself, but not going down, sounds like. 63, President Davis ordered service duty for Confederate Army. What does that mean, service duty?
Well, I think that's I think that's weird. Joining up.
But they're already in the Army. He's ordering that for the Confederate Army. Or I guess to join the Confederate Army.
To join up service.
Okay, now I understand. Okay. 1864, troop train loaded with Confederate prisoners collided with a coal train, killing 65 and injuring 109 of 955 on board. I only put that in there because they were the enemy, and I couldn't help but it sucks if people die, but they're on their way to kill, us. So, better them than us. 1867, San Francisco's Merchant Exchange opened. Pretty cool. 1869, margarine was patented by Hippolyte Meiji Mores for use by the French Navy.
Oh, so it came from France.
Yeah.
They're the ones we can bitch about this too.
Yeah.
Actually, I like margarine.
Yeah.
Nobody uses butter anymore.
I know. It's not
Unless
good.
it's in cooking or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, we don't even use margarine. We use all, basically an oil spread or something.
Yeah,
like,
it's even changed from margarine. Yeah.
1870, Manitoba became the 5th Canadian province, and the Northwest Territories were created and transferred to Canada by the Hudson's Bay Company. Let's take a look at this. So here you go. Northwest Territories. So all of that was the Hudson's Bay Company.
Wow.
Yeah. No, these companies, they were ridiculous. I was watching a video actually about the Hudson, and because it was because of this basin, and because of all the shipping and everything, fur trade, and like all the rivers you go down, as I said, let's see if I can find it. See here, history. I can get rid of that.
It's an important waterway, that's for darn sure.
Absolutely. Let's see here, Hudson. That's not it. That's not it. Whatever. It's a really I guess you're going to take my word for it. I don't know where it is, but it goes into detail about the whole thing about the how that area is affected by the weather, because that whole basin, the water area, it's rather shallow, so it freezes over, and it prevents certain areas from warming or cooling at certain times of the year and everything, and a massive impact environmentally on all of Canada. Actually, that reminds me, Canada. It was talking about why Canada's most of its population is basically hugging the border. Let's see if I can find it really quick. Canada. That's not. Canada population border. Let's see if it's here. Is that it? This looks it.
Well, rugged weather, rugged terrain.
Yeah, the real.
Everything above.
Was this the one that I was watching? I'm not sure. Anyway, we got to keep on going here. 1870, Georgia, the last Confederate state, was readmitted to the United States during the Reconstruction era of the United States of America. So, all right, readmitted to the Union. 1876, baseball's first official no-hitter, George Bradley of the St. Louis Brown Stockings no-hit the Hartford Dark Blues 2-0. 1888, the Bondi volcano of Japan erupted for the first time in 1,000 years. It was a stratovolcano. It killed approximately 500 people in Fukushima Prefecture in Japan. 1898, Italian biologist and pathologist Camillo Golgi discovered the Golgi Apparatus, a network of membranes inside cells that modify, sorts, and packages proteins and lipids. So, rather significant. We've seen this in biology books. This is it, the Golgi Apparatus. So he discovered it. You can see it right there in the photo. It's the little weird swirly looking intestine looking thing. That's what it does. That's remarkable. 1900, or actually 1904, first Buddhist temple in the U.S. formed in Los Angeles, California. Of course, in Los Angeles. 1909, Detroit's future Baseball Hall of Fame center fielder Ty Cobb hit 2 inside the park home runs to lead the Tigers to a sweep of the Washington Senators 9-5 and 7-0. 1910, in his book Clinical Psychiatry, Emil Kraepelin gave a name to Alzheimer's disease, naming it after his colleague Alois Alzheimer. I was going to put that in the title, but I forgot. He got it. He got it. But yeah, no, ain't that a bitch? Can you imagine, your colleague naming such a horrible thing after you? It's hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Unless he approved it, so.
Hey, he would probably accept it as an honor.
I wouldn't. So. 1911, 46 inches of rain, beginning from 7th to 14th, falls on Baguio, Philippines. So it started yesterday.
Okay.
So why would you tell me about it today? Why not tell me about this yesterday?
And probably ended today.
Oh, okay. 1912, Canadian athlete Jim Thorpe placed in the top 4 in all 10 events, achieving an Olympic record of 8,413 points to win the decathlon gold medal at the Stockholm Olympics. His medal was stripped in 1913 because he played professional baseball, but was reinstated in 1982, well after his death and when it had any meaning. 1912, British National Health Insurance Act went into effect. 1914, Mexican President Victoriano Huerta fled with 2 million pesos to Europe. That sounds guilty as hell. 1915, the head of German propaganda in the U.S., Dr. Heinrich Albert, lost his briefcase on a New York City subway. An examination of its content revealed extensive network of German espionage and subversion across the U.S. World War I.
Yeah.
What a stupid. But I'm glad he was stupid.
Yeah.
16, 22.22 inches or 56.4 centimeters of rain fell on Apparatus, North Carolina, state record. 1916, the Pacific Aero Products Company, later renamed the Boeing Company, was founded by William Boeing in Seattle, Washington. Bless you. So, yeah, it was in Seattle, Washington. William Boeing and George Conrad Westervelt incorporated Pacific Aero Products, later renamed to Boeing. And let's not forget all the whistleblowers that they killed and everything. You know, about their DEI and why their planes were catching fire in midair and falling out of the sky and all that stuff. 1920, Ruth tied his record of 29 home runs in the season. We also had aftermath of World War I. The Parliament of Poland established Saturn voivodeship before the Polish-German plebiscites. Okay. 21, the New York Yankees slugger Babe Ruth tied MLB record of 138 career home runs, which was held by Roger Connor since 1895, in a 7-2 win over St. Louis Browns at Sportsman's Park, St. Louis. 1 year later, we have the first duck-billed platypus publicly exhibited in the U.S. at Bronx Zoological Park in New York City. Dude, the platypus is such an amalgamation of this, like, whatever spare parts God had left at the end of everything, he just throw it all together, make one more creature.
Let's make this. We'll get this one.
It's a mammal that lays eggs, has a beaver tail, duck bill, and it has spurs on its hind legs that are venomous.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, if it hits you, it'll hurt. You know, I think it might actually be able to kill people. Yeah, no, it's no joke. 1922, Noble Sissel and Eubie Blake's musical review Shuffle Along, the first hit Broadway show with an all-black cast, closed at Dowley's 3rd Street Theater in New York City after 504 performances. I'm just going to see here, yada yada, just checking to see audio levels to make sure that I'm not getting overpowered by the music. It's just that my speakers are a little high, so that's why I can hear it, but it's... Oh, wait, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Okay, that's probably why. 1922, Japanese Communist Party was established in Japan. Ooh. You know, and that makes me remember about this.
Should I push the communist button?
Don't do it. It's a domino effect.
It's a communist button.
Oh, no.
You remember this, though?
Yeah,
Japan at the final
Vietnam,
domino. Vietnam, Laos, Taiwan, Korea, Philippines, and
Vietnam goes, they all go. The domino effect.
Well, God, what have I done? I mean, like... It is a very valid theory, especially since the Japanese Communist Party was established in Japan on this date in 1922.
Yeah, but
you know that's alarming.
That was the 60s.
Yeah, so that was 40 years after that.
Yeah.
So communism was already established. You know, it's not about a domino effect about worrying about getting established. It's already there. The domino effect already happened. Yikes. 23, Italian Parliament accepted new constitution. 26, 1 century ago. I forgot. 1 century ago. I've been slipping. I didn't mark anything. Like, you know, as far as like Oka, my time, your time. Like, I fixed that later, but I slipped today. I don't know what's going on. VPRO, the free thinking Protestant radio broadcast, formed. That's suspicious. 1927, massacre in Vienna. 89 protesters were killed by the Austrian police. Wow. That's terrible. First airport hotel opened in Oakland, California. It's pretty cool. You know, that makes sense. I mean, airlines haven't been around, you know, for too long by 29, so eventually an airport hotel would have been. It says Amelia Earhart slept here. I'm not sure if that's the same one, though.
Well, who knows?
So, because, you know, this is a different building over Oakland Airport. So there's the, wait, why is it saying Honolulu International Airport Archives? Is it saying Oakland Airport Inn?
I don't know. Maybe it's in the Honolulu Archives, the picture.
Okay.
They gave credit where credit's due.
That would make sense. 1932, U.S. President Herbert Hoover cut his own salary by 15% and reduced the pay of senior federal officials to lower government spending during the Great Depression. Oh, what? Wow. Herbert Hoover, that just made him easily top 5 best presidents of all time.
I like
taking
Herbert Hoover,
taking a knee like that, yeah. And then people had the audacity to call all those shanty towns Hoovervilles.
Hooverville.
Yeah. So 1933, Wiley Post began the first solo flight around the world, completing the journey in 7 days and 19 hours. Cool. 34, Continental Airlines commenced operations. 2 years later, 1936, Dutch Second Chamber agreed to temporarily increase defense budget, probably because, those Germans are getting a little rambunctious.
Exactly right.
37, Buchenwald concentration camp opened. Speak of the devil. We also have Japanese attacked Marco Polo Bridge, invading China. 1938, Arthur Fagg became the first baseman in first-class cricket history to score double centuries in both innings of a match, with 244 and 202 for Kent against Essex in Colchester, England. And if you don't like, his last name, that's a you problem, because that's it.
Yeah.
F-A-G-G.
A fag used to be a cigarette.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, actually, where'd it go? Here it is. I'm gonna play this in its entirety, and I know I'll get copyright. Why is it? You're loaded. There we go.
They turned the drunken clam into a British pub.
Well, at least they still got sports on TV.
The new bowler for Summer City is off-spinner Heath, who has a cover point, long on, square leg, deep extra cover, and 2 short lanes.
Are you kidding me?
What the hell is he talking about?
What the hell is he talking about? Thank you.
Really, you see the bowler hurls the ball towards the batsman, drives the player with a fine leg. He endeavours to score by dashing between the creases, providing the wicketkeeper hasn't whipped his bails off, of course.
Anybody get that?
The only British idiom I know is that fag means cigarette.
Well, someone tell
okay.
this cigarette to shut up.
Hey guys, there's no more.
And someone tell a cigarette to shut up. Like, I know I'm getting hit for copyright on that, but I had to show you that whole clip. It's hilarious. And your reaction was just, you were Peter in there. You're just like, what the hell is any of this? That was English, but what was that? 1939, Clara Adams was the first woman to complete a commercial around-the-world flight from New York lasting 16 days and 19 hours. Dude, excellent. Good job, Miss Adams.
Well, commercial, does that mean they have paying either store packages or people?
Well, packages would be shipping, not...
It'd still be commercial.
Well, I think commercial would
generally be, yeah.
I think it's passengers.
Most 90. I'm almost certain.
Because
Especially
if it's objects, it would be called logistics or something else. Like, I think commercial. You're right, but I think that more is for people, though.
I'm just covering all the bases, so most like that, I would think it would be people.
1940, Nazi occupiers seized library of IISG in Amsterdam. 1940 as well, physicist Donald Kirsch became the first person to accelerate electrons using electromagnetic induction, reaching energies of 2.3 MeV when his Betridien device for particle acceleration became operational in Urbana, Illinois. Bombs time! 1941, Britain's Maud report, edited by physicist James Chadwick, was approved and concluded that an atomic bomb is feasible. Wonderful. We also have Howard Florey and Norman Heatley presented freeze-dried mold cultures of penicillin. Yep. 42, first deportation of Jews from Westburg, Amersfoort, and Vault detention camps in the Netherlands to Auschwitz extermination camps. 42 as well, Dutch Jews invoked for labor camps. During the Holocaust, Nazi Germany began the deportation of 100,000 Jews from the occupied Netherlands to extermination camps. Horrible. 44, Greenwich Royal Observatory in London was damaged by a World War II flying bomb. Well, let's see if they have a photo of it damaged. Oh, yeah, I can kind of see it. I can't see if it's really that damaged. That's not the observatory.
I'm looking at all the rubble around it, though.
Yeah, well, this is somewhere else. I wonder where the observatory, because this is the observatory here, you know? So it's way out in the... It's not in the city of London.
Okay.
I mean, light pollution.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, true.
So, I'm just trying to find a picture. It doesn't look like they have a picture of it damaged, though. So... what else we got here? Loons time, 1946. British North Borneo Company transferred its rights to modern-day Sabah to the British Crown. 48. Alcoholics Anonymous, founded in Britain. Oh, good old AA.
Yeah.
And we spoke about when, the original one was formed in New York. When What's-His-Face took his last drink and he and the guy founded it right then and there.
Yeah.
We covered the article a while ago. 1948. U.S. President Harry Truman was nominated for his first full term at the Democratic Convention in Philadelphia Convention Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 52. First transatlantic helicopter flight began. Wow. So going over the ocean in one of those.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary. 53 ANC African National Congress members Walter Sisulu and Duma Nokwe left South Africa and went overseas under false names, probably invading like apartheid or something. 54 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 43 Celsius at Balcony Falls, Virginia, state record, and it got it to like 93 or something today. We went out and dipped in the pool. If you have a pool out there, go dip. Yeah,
the stream, a lake, the ocean, go dip.
Go play in a freaking fire hydrant if you have to. And I wouldn't recommend that. The city needs the water, but like.
Well, they do. I don't know if they still do, but they used to open up fire hydrants.
They actually started doing that again because of Mom Donnie's like outrageously stupid, policies. Nobody has power. Nobody can run AC. Meanwhile, like he and City Hall have nothing but AC and everything. Yeah. There's images of like people because no power, the trains can't run. You can't get to the public pools, so people are like I've seen videos recently of people opening up fire hydrants and playing in the streets like it's the freaking 80s. It's nuts. When will the leftists realize that the left is not the way?
Why do you say the 80s like it was so long ago?
Because that's when
I was already old in the 80s.
Yes, and now you're older.
Older.
Anyway, 1954, the first commercial jet transport plane built in the U.S. was tested, Boeing 707. So the Boeing 367-80, the prototype for both the Boeing 707 and
wow.
and C-135 series took its first flight. So let's take a look at this plane here. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Look how small the engine is. Like, you see that?
Mm-hmm. It's
Like,
hard to see, but yeah.
Well, let's see if I can get a bigger.
That's okay.
There it is. Can you see it?
Yeah. I see it better on the other axis.
Yeah, look how small that is. I
Yeah.
mean, you can still. Well, I don't even think that.
Look at the people under it, though. Those are pretty big.
No.
But they're long and skinny.
Yeah, no, this guy's right in front of it.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
So, nowadays, they're like huge.
Oh, huge, yeah.
So, yeah. What else do we got here? 1955, 18 Nobel laureates signed the Mainu Declaration Against Nuclear Weapons, later co-signed by 34 more laureates. Excellent. 58, President Eisenhower sent U.S. troops to Lebanon, where they remained for 3 months. 59, U.S. steel strike of 59 began, leading to significant importation of foreign steel for the first time in United States history. 1960, Baltimore's future Baseball Hall of Fame third baseman Brooks Robinson went 5 for 5, including the line, the cycle, and the Orioles' 5-2 win over the Chicago White Sox.
And now you know what the cycle is.
Single, double, triple home run.
Yeah.
Okay. Legitimately, I wasn't playing. So, let's see. 1960s. Well, Chubby Checkers released his version of the. Anyway, 1960s. Well, UN troops arrived in Congo to help deal with the political crisis after Moise Kapetichoni's declaration of independence for Katanga province. 61. Spain accepted equal rights for men and women. About time.
Yeah, that's way late.
Spain, Spain is a third world country masquerading as a second one. 62, Algeria became member of Arab League, and Netherlands and Indonesia reached agreement over New Guinea. Wonder what that agreement was. Those were two different articles, by the way. West New Guinea disputes, 1950 through 62. Okay, that sounds about right. So let's see, West New Guinea disputes.
Talked about this yesterday, as I recall.
Probably. Also known as the West Iran disputes, was a diplomatic and political conflict between the Netherlands and Indonesia over the territory of Dutch New Guinea, where the Netherlands had ceded sovereignty over most of the Dutch East Indies to Indonesia on December 27th, 1949. Following an independent struggle, it retained control over its colony on the western half of New Guinea. The Indonesian government claimed this territory as well, on the basis that it had belonged to the Dutch East Indies and that the new Republic of Indonesia was a legitimate successor to the former Dutch colony. Dang. Politics is hard, man. 1963, Paul McCartney was fined 17 pounds for speeding.
17 pounds.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
65, Mariner 4 sent back the first pictures of Mars. You know, speaking of covering things yesterday, you know, I think we covered this yesterday as well, right? Yeah, right here, the first up close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, 1966, during the Vietnam War, the United States and South Vietnam began Operation Hastings to push the North Vietnamese out of the Vietnamese demilitarized zone. So it's not the demilitarized zone anymore, is it? 1967, USSR performed a 23-kiloton nuclear test at Semipalatinsk in eastern Kazakhstan. 23 kilotons, man. You know, people don't realize the weight of that word. Like, you know, the megatons, kilotons, like, you know, like...
Yeah.
And this is of TNT, you know? Like, you know, this is 23,000 tons of TNT. Or something like that. I don't know. 1967 as well. Neil Simon, Cy Coleman, and Dorothy Fields' musical comedy Sweet Charity closed at Palace Theater, New York City, after 608 performances, winning a Tony Award for choreography. 1968, commercial air travel began between the U.S. and USSR. It's pretty cool. We also have the New Jersey Americans moved to Comac and became the New York Jets, or the not Jets, Nets.
Nets, yes.
For the ABA.
Yeah.
68, Fantasy Records released self-titled album or debut album Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, yeah.
It features a cover of Dale Hawkins' Susie Q.
Oh yeah, great song.
Yeah.
Creedence, what a great band.
Yeah. 1969, Cincinnati Red Lee May hit 4 home runs in a doubleheader. Nice. 1970, Denmark defeated Italy 2-0 in the first Women's World Cup. Awesome. First World Female Soccer Championship. The United Red Army was founded in Japan on the anniversary of the founding of the Communist Party, so I wonder what army this is for. First off, I know Japan is very limited to what they can do militarily, you know? But what's this United Red Army? And it sounds like communists.
Sounds like the Russians.
Yes.
Which are right up there.
Yeah.
On the border.
Yeah. So is there a communist army in Japan?
No, the United Red Army was founded. Oh, in Japan. You're right.
Yes. Why would I bring Japan into this?
I don't know. Yeah. I thought Japan was fighting the Red Army.
No.
I bet.
Yeah. 72, Honky Chateau became Elton John's first #1 album in the U.S., including his hit Rocket Man. Yeah. And good old Elton John, the last Queen of England. 73, California Angel Nolan Ryan pitched his second no-hitter, defeating the Detroit Tigers 6-0. 73 as well, MLB San Francisco Giant Willie McCovey became the 15th player to hit 400 home runs. This one at Candlestick Park against Pittsburgh Pirates' Bob Moose. We also have Ray Davis announced his retirement from the Kinks, then attempted self-deletion.
The Kinks.
Neither effort was successful. Yikes. Did you hear
Wait. Neither effort? So he didn't get to leave and he didn't kill himself?
Yeah.
So he stayed with the Kinks?
Well, apparently, according to the source, you know, neither effort successful. Thank goodness, at least for, you know, one of them.
Yeah.
Still alive. You know, you don't get the easy way out, man. No, you have to stay here and suffer with the rest of us, motherfucker.
That's right.
That's right. Holy shit. 74, Stadium TV News reporter Christine Chublock shot herself live on WXLT TV in Sarasota, Florida. First person to commit self-deletion on the live broadcast. Well, she got to get out of here. That's not fair.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. Probably why we don't have live TV anymore. You know, one of the reasons. 75 as well, Soyuz 19 and Apollo 18 were launched. They will rendezvous 2 days later. From other source, now this is awesome. During the space race, so this is while the Soviet Union and the United States of America are, Cold War space race. Apollo-Soyuz test project featured the dual launch of an Apollo spacecraft and a Soyuz spacecraft on the first Soviet United States human crewed flight. It was the last launch of both an Apollo spacecraft and the Saturn family of rockets. So we actually worked together.
Yeah.
Even though we are fighting each other.
Yeah.
You know, in a cold way. Dude, like, that... What's why the animosity? You know, like... Fuck. 76, 36-hour kidnapping of 26 school children and their bus driver in California. Wow, I never heard about that.
Oh, yeah, they buried the bus or something.
Oh, wow. Like the kidnapper, or?
Yeah, they buried the bus
Oh, holy
to
shit.
hide him.
Oh, wow.
They didn't bury him alive.
Oh.
They buried it to hide him.
Okay. That's still scary.
Yeah, it was.
Yikes.
No, they found him. I can't remember the whole story, but it was really amazing that they found the bus and the kids were okay.
Yeah. 1979, U.S. President Jimmy Carter gave his Malaise speech. What does that mean? I'm going to look this up here. Malaise speech? Like, just from the archives of... Okay, well, this is a half-hour-long speech. A crisis... let's say... A crisis of confidence. Well, if anybody wants to watch this entire speech, I'm going to put this in here. This is a Malaise speech. I'll throw that in there, so... do you know anything about this speech, though?
No, it sounds familiar, but I don't.
Oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Hold on a second. Damn it. Fuck. Okay, there we go. Alright, that worked. It was just telling me, reconsidering Jimmy Carter's... It's not giving me a quick wiki to look at, so... Moving on up to 1980, Billy Carter, the brother of U.S. President Jimmy Carter, registered as a foreign agent of the Libyan government after it was revealed they paid him hundreds of thousands of dollars. Wow. And didn't he also make beer or something?
Yeah, something.
Johnny Bench hit his 314th home run as a catcher, which broke Yogi Berra's record. Hey, boo-boo. 1982, the body of Wendy Caulfield, first Green River victim, was found near Seattle. 1982 as well, Senate confirmed George P. Shultz as the 60th U.S. Secretary of State by a vote of 97 to none. Wow, that's unanimous.
Yeah.
We also have 83, Armenian extremists bombed Orly, France, killing 8 and injuring 54. This was an attack at the Orly airport in Paris. It was launched by Armenian militant organization As-Sala, leaving 8 people dead and 55 injured. 83, Nintendo and Sega entered the console market with the respective releases of the Famicom and SG-1000 in Japan. Excellent. 1984, John Lennon's single "I'm Stepping Out" was released posthumously. It's kind of fitting, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after his death.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So he was stepping out. And it's kind of eerily fitting. So, 1987, Ao's time.
Hey.
Producer, can I go through my life in 12 minutes?
No.
Producers bar culture frontman. Culture Club frontman Boy George from appearing on the British children's TV program Saturday Superstar, saying his drug use made him a bad influence on young viewers. That makes sense. Yeah, they barred him, from joining. 87 as well, John Poindexter testified at Iran-Contra hearings, and the state of siege ended in Taiwan. I didn't realize that they were in a state of siege in 87. What was happening? China?
No, I don't think so.
Martial law in Taiwan. Oh, so they were sieging themselves?
Apparently so.
Well, this is 1949.
No, not that late. This is 87 or 88, whenever.
87. It says the term is specifically used to refer to the over 38-year-long consecutive martial law period between... Okay. So the martial law was a state of siege. Okay. So, Taiwan siege. Put it in there. So, yeah, it's because they were constantly under martial law. So they were sieging themselves, I guess, in a way. That's weird.
Protesting, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. 1988, Die Hard, which is a Christmas film, directed by John McTiernan and starring Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman, was released in the U.S. It is an absolute Christmas film. And, Bruce Willis, he is on camera saying that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Well, he's been diagnosed with some brain problems, so that was like the first sign of it right there, because it absolutely is a Christmas film,
Well, I think his vision of it had nothing to do with Christmas. The only connection to Christmas is that
it happened on Christmas.
They're at a Christmas party.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't be Christmas Day, but it would be a company Christmas party, and
he
came out to see his wife.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a Christmas movie. I just like being in control. So.
But it was during Christmas,
yeah. 91, Sandy Ortiz Del Valle was the first woman to officiate a men's pro basketball game, the USBL, between New Haven Skyhawks and Philadelphia Spirit. Dude, cool.
Yeah.
U.S. troops left northern Iraq. We'll be back. World War I as well. No, World War I. 1991. Wow. World's first offshore wind farm began generating electricity off the coast of Vindeby in Denmark. Cool.
Yeah.
92, Pope John Paul II was hospitalized for 3 weeks following surgery to remove a benign colon tumor. Yikes. You know, kind of funny. Why didn't you pray it away? Huh? Yeah. Well, I'm just making a point here. 92, the Security Council of the UN examined violence in South Africa. Apartheid, probably. 94, hundreds of thousands of Hutus fled to Zaire in the Congo near the end of the Rwandan genocide. I gotta see that movie. Like, I saw a scene, from that movie where it started, cut the tall trees or whatever it was. You know,
What does that mean?
like it was like remember like radio messages from
Okay.
World War II, the French resistance. John has a long mustache and thing that means the invasion has begun.
Oh, okay.
Cut the tall trees means the genocide has begun or whatever the heck it meant. Like
I
actually,
got you. I got you.
I'll look it up. Cut the tall trees. Cut down the tall trees. Here we go. The code Hutu extremists used over the radio to start the 1994 genocide in Rwanda was "It's time to cut down the tall trees." The not-so-subtle propagation had some literal implications, as machetes were the weapon of choice to slaughter their taller, fairer-skinned countrymen, women, and children labeled Tutsi. 100 days later, more than 800,000 people were murdered at a rate of every 10.12 seconds, primarily by hand.
Good grief.
So,
Wow.
yeah. So that's what they mean, the tall trees.
Yeah.
The ones taller than them. Cut them down. Horrifying. Absolutely horrifying.
810,000? Yeah.
Yeah. 1994, hundreds of thousands of... yeah, we got that one. 1994 as well. Derek Coleman of the New Jersey Nets was accused of struggle snuggle in Detroit. Northern Virginia in 95 began using 540 as new area code. 96, after 2,216 consecutive games as shortstop, MLB Baltimore Orioles Cal Ripken moved to third base.
Yeah.
Cool. 96, a Belgian Air Force C-130 Hercules carrying the Royal Netherlands Army marching band crashed on landing at Eindhoven Airport, killing 34. Investigation attributed cause to jet engine bird ingestion. That sounds terrible. They sucked up birds on the way in, So.
Yeah.
MSNBC began Microsoft Internet NBC TV. Okay. Southern Mexico was hit with a 6.5 earthquake. I'm way ahead of myself right here. Here we go. 97, Gerald McKenzie awarded $26.6 million, later reduced to $625,000. Wow.
Quite a reduction.
You just lost pretty much your entire $26 million.
90% of it.
Yeah, $26.6 million. Now you're just at 0.6. For being fired from Miller Brewing for sexual harassment for relaying a Seinfeld episode to a coworker. What?
Oh,
Are you fucking kidding me? She got fired for that? Stupid. Or whatever, Gerald, that's a guy's name, I think. Yeah. 98, Donatella Versace launched her first couture collection for her brother's Versace label a year after his murder. Okay. Sri Lankan Civil War, Sri Lankan Tamil MP, Member of Parliament, S. Shamanagathyan was killed by a claymore mine. Yikes. 99, scientists uncovered possible reason for SS Waratah's disappearance. 100 years later, the SS Waratah was a luxury steamer which did not reach its destination in 1909, and no trace of the wreckage was ever found. Okay, but what was the cause?
they don't know. They never found it.
No, they said scientists uncovered possible reason for SS Waratah's disappearance
sure.
100 years later.
True.
Okay, what was the cause? It doesn't tell us in there. What the hell? So, let's see, design and construction, yada, 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 service history, yada, yada, disappearance. Confirmed sightings, contemporary searches, later searches, inquiry. It quickly gained the focus as the supposed instability of Waratah. Evidence was greatly hampered. Okay, yeah, the expert witnesses all agreed that Waratah was designed and built properly and sailed in good condition. She had passed numerous inspections, including those by her builders, her owners, the Board of Trade, and 2 by Lloyd's of London, who gave her the classification plus 100A1, the top rating. However, many witnesses who had traveled on the ship testified it felt unstable, frequently listed on one side, and even in calm conditions, rolled excessively, was very slow to come upright after leaning into a swell, and had a tendency for her bow to dip into oncoming waves rather than ride over them. Okay, so that's probably what caused it.
Yeah.
So the SS Waratah, if anybody wants to read more on that. What else do we got here? 1999, the inaugural game at the Seattle Mariners Safeco Field, held in Seattle, Washington. The year 2000. Can I get through the next 26 years in 5 minutes? World Rugby attendance of 108,874 saw New Zealand beat Australia 39-55 in a Tri-Nations match at the Stadium Australia, Sydney. 5 tries each with Andrew Margerine's goal kicking 6 being the difference. Rugby is like cricket light. 2002, American Taliban John Walker Lynn pled guilty to supplying aid to the enemy and to possession of explosives during the commission of a felony. Yikes. We also have anti-terrorism court of Pakistan held down the death sentence to British-born Ahmed Somar, or handed down the death sentence to this guy, Ahmed Omar Saeed Sheikhi, and life terms to 3 others suspected of murdering Wall Street Journal reporter Danielle Pearl.
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder, oh yeah, so this is the same thing. Wait, is this, no, hold on, I'll put this up here, that's something else. So, that's, is that the same American Taliban guy, or is that, no, that's something else. So, anyway, 2003, AOL Time Warner disbanded Netscape Communications Corporation, and the Mozilla Foundation was established on the same day. That's a little suspicious. That's kind of sounds like the LifeLog Facebook thing.
Pull the plug and plug it in somewhere else.
Yeah. Pull the plug and plug the pull. 2005, after declining an offer to remain with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, Mike Babcock was named head coach of the Detroit Red Wings. 2006, Twitter, now known as Twixter, later one of the largest social media platforms in the world, was launched. 2007, MLB Philadelphia Phillies lost to visiting St. Louis Cardinals 10-2, becoming the first franchise in a major stadium sports with 10,000 all-time losses. That's a horrible record to have. 2009, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, the 6th film based on the books by J.K. Rowling, was released worldwide. 2009, a 7.9 magnitude earthquake registered 160 kilometers west of Invercargill, New Zealand, creating a small tsunami. Caspian Airlines Flight 7908 crashed near Janathabad, Kazan, Iran, killing 168. 2009 as well, Space Shuttle program Endeavour was launched on STS-127, the complete assembly of the International Space Station's Kibo module. 2012, Korean pop star singer Psy released Gangnam Style. It became a worldwide hit, topping the charts in over 36 countries. I'm going to do a quick looky-loo for any comments here. Nothing on YouTube, anything on Rumble? Nope. And the dance he did on the music video, it has been equated to satanic ritual and everything. So, take this Gangnam Style with a grain of salt. You might actually be summoning a demon. 2013, a car bomb. No, not that one. 18 people were killed and 47 were injured in a riot following a boxing match in Indonesia.
Oh,
wow. 2014, Israel announced it has officially voted to accept the ceasefire proposed by Egypt. Hamas rejected, saying they were not consulted. It's so weird. We always have these hearings, but we never bring in the people who are just getting their teeth kicked in. They never get to have a say in anything. Very much like how the Palestinians never got to have a say about Israel being there to begin with. It's terrible. 2016, Stranger Things, created by the Duffer Brothers, starring Winona Ryder, David Harbour, Finn Wolfhard, Natalia Dyer, and Millie Bobby Brown, debuted on Netflix. 2016 as well, nearly 300 people were killed in a failed military coup in Turkey, and 6,000 were later arrested. Wow. Factions of the Turkish armed forces attempted a coup. Jeez. 2017, Australian Justin Diamond killed by Minneapolis police officer after calling 911 for a disturbance. So he called 911 and he got killed? What the fuck?
That sounds weird.
That's strange. 2018, 8-year-old girl found pre-Viking era sword in Vidostjärn Lake, Sweden. Internet proclaimed her the Queen of Sweden. So that's what this image was I had up here earlier. That's a sword. Wow. There she is, yeah. I thought about putting this as a thumbnail, but wasn't entirely sure, because she found a sword. Yeah. That's really cool. But it's a thumbnail levels of cool to have a picture of a person and not the event. That's why I didn't have the But at least I'm giving her, some airtime now. 2018 FIFA World Cup Final, Luzinski Stadium, Moscow, Russia. Former captain Didier Deschamps became only the third man to win the event as a player and coach, as France defeated Croatia 4-2. 4-2. There we go. Filipino boxing legend Manny Pacquiao stuffed WBA welterweight champion Lucas Mathias in the 7th round in Kuala Lumpur for his first knockout in 9 years and 60th career victory. 2019 as well, Tampa Bay catcher Travis d'Arnaud became the first player in MLB history to hit 3 home runs while catching and batting leadoff in the Rays' 5-4 win over the New York Yankees. 2020, heavy monsoon flooding in India's northeastern state of Assam affected more than 2 million people and killed more than 50. Wow. 21, devastating floods linked to climate change, here we go again, swept through towns in western Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands after record rainfall killing at least 188 people. 2022, Elton John kicked off the North American leg of his Farewell Yellow Brick Road, the final tour, at Citizens Bank Park, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 23, Argentine footballer Lionel Messi officially signed with Inter Miami on a 2.5-year contract reportedly worth between $50 million and $60 million per year. Yeah, well, Lionel Messi, one of the big names there.
Yeah.
23, torrential rain totaling almost 300 millimeters or 11.8 inches across South Korea led to at least 37 deaths and flooded a tunnel in the South Korean town of Osong, trapping 15 vehicles.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's probably where all the deaths came
Yeah,
from.
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. 24, Donald Trump picked Ohio. Senator J.D. Vance as his Republican vice presidential running mate. And last but not least, 2024, would you mind turning on that light, please? A Kenyan man confessed to the murder of 42 women after the bodies of 9 women were found in the Nairobi rubbish dump. Yikes. A rubbish dump. Wow. Yeah. Didn't even bother to bury it. Literally just threw the body into a dump. The amount of disrespect is inconceivable. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. And these links will appear down there in about 10 minutes or so. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis. We can only bring you a portion between 2 sources. We have gone over all 35 pages of our document today in an hour and 3 minutes. Pretty fast, actually, all things considered and everything. Anyway, what's the code word for today? Let us know that you're still watching.
Monsoon.
Monsoon! Alright, type monsoon in the comment section. Let us know you're still watching up until this point. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU. We do this show every day at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We got that one. Until you catch us next time, whenever, that is, wherever it is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! Where's the thing? There's the thing.